My favorite Harry Potter book is the fourth one. My favorite character is Hermione.
Hold on.
My favorite book is The Half-Blood Prince, and my favorite character is Sirius Black.
My favorite character is Ron Weasley, and my favorite book is The Deathly Hallows.
Okay, so my favorite book is The Prisoner of Azkaban, and my favorite character would have to be Harry.
My favorite book is the first one, and my favorite character is Sirius Black.
I'm a Gryffindor.
Slytherin.
Ravenclaw.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
I started reading Harry Potter because my dad suggested it because he had read it, and he made me watch the first movie, and I just really liked it, so I started reading the book.
I started reading Harry Potter in 4th grade because my mom had all the books up to that point, and I just really wanted to see what all the fuss was about.
I started reading Harry Potter when I was about 10 because my dad thought that it would be a really fun thing for us to all do together.
I started reading Harry Potter, I must have been 10 years old. I started reading because my mom actually read it to me, and then once I was old enough to read it on my own, I read the rest of the series.
I started reading them when the last one came out because my mom had given me the 4th one randomly for Christmas one year, so I figured I should start from the beginning. The second time I read it, me and the little girl I babysit raced to see who could read them all first, and she won because she doesn't have a job and I do.
Going to the movies every year it came out with my family just because we all read the books and enjoyed the movies, and Daniel Radcliffe.
My favorite Harry Potter memory is seeing Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows Part 2 with my friends at the midnight premiere. It was so much fun, and we just bawled our eyes out and then went to IHOP.
My favorite memories of Harry Potter are just sharing the books with my parents and my grandparents, and just sharing all the stories from that with them, and also going to the amusement park because that was just awesome, seeing everything that I read like in real life.
So I don't have a best memory from Harry Potter, but probably my worst memory is before I read the 6th book, Half-Blood Prince, my sister's friend spoiled the end for me, and I cried for 3 hours. Not because of what happened, but because she spoiled it. And that really bothered me.
Harry Potter for me is just a story about how important friends are in like your journey in life.
I can always go back to them and they're always there.
Harry Potter is a world of fantasy that just lets me get away for a little while and get into a book and just find friends in these books and really just lose myself in the characters.
I don't know. I enjoyed it in the sense that I've never experienced anything better, I guess.
Also kind of signifies my childhood and into my high school career because it's been in my life for so long and I'm never going to forget about it. And it's just a really huge part of my life and really helped me to pick my major because I would like to be an author like J.K. Rowling one day. When I read the last book, I didn't cry, but I was still kind of upset that it ended. But when I saw the very last movie, I just felt like a whole part of me just was ripped out. It was ended, and I was so upset. But it'll always hold a special place in my heart, and I'll never forget about it.
When I read the last book and finished reading the last page, I was crying because it was sad to see our generation of Harry Potter end, and the books was just over. And then when I saw the movie again, I felt really, really sad. They just did a great job with the movie, so I cried again.
I was devastated.
Why?
Because it was the end, and you know, you just want something like that to go on forever.
I cried.
I think Harry Potter can relate to so many people, and everyone can find a character that just means a lot to them and they can attach themselves to. And I think that it's a really never-ending story that people can just love for generations to come.
I think it gives a world for people to escape to, and that a lot of the characters in the book are relatable. So it's a good story for everyone because everyone can get something from it.
You can learn a lot as the young people see from like Dumbledore and stuff, and the old people can just do it because they like reading.
Because he's a kid, and everyone was a kid once. And it's just exciting because fantasy books are always really exciting to read, especially with all the adventures that he goes on. And I just think that it was like a really, really fun book to read, and so many people recommend it to people, so it just gets spread around.
I think Harry Potter will live on, just whether it's in everybody's hearts or just, it's always there.
I don't think it's over because J.K. Rowling is just a really good writer, so even though it's not the Harry Potter series, it's not really over, and there's Pottermore, there's other people keeping it alive, and you can always relate back to it.
No, I don't think Harry Potter will really ever be over. I would like my kids to read Harry Potter and go to Harry Potter World and do everything Harry Potter, and I think the magic will always live on.
No, Harry Potter will never be over.
Why?
Because people are going to pass down the books to their kids, and it's just going to go on for generations, and I don't know, it's just one of those timeless pieces of work, I guess.
A book will always be there for you to read, so it'll always start over again whenever you start it, and it'll always be over whenever you finish it. So it could happen as many times as you could read it. So it'll never really be over, but at the same time, it ends every time.
I think that it has really just impacted my life and gave me something that was more unique to me when my friends didn't like to read and like all that magical stuff. And it gave me something to imagine in my head.
Harry Potter made me realize that I should really try and live life to the fullest and accept, my friends and what they're trying to tell me and how they're trying to help me.
I grew up with it, and Harry Potter was basically the same exact age as me, and it was pretty cool how it was just, the whole story was kind of like, oh, let's try and make something together of nothing, and you don't have, parents because they died, and then everything's good at the end.
It got me reading again after a long time of not reading. Got me
Yeah.
back into reading.
Are you happy about that?
Yeah.
Harry Potter was a huge part of my childhood, and I don't think it changed me as much as it did become a part of me from the beginning. So it means a lot to me because it was always something I could escape to, and I'm really thankful for that. Wonderful.
Phenomenal.
Life.
Heartwarming.
Enchanting.
Childhood.